So this is the MathMarvel from Texas Instrument, still in the box with all the sides of it. Electronic learning. It comes with the booklet, Math is Marvelous. And the booklet is, again, in pretty good shape with all the pages with no scratches and all the examples on how to use your calculator. And it comes with this cute parent's guide that you're supposed to detach. Please remove this parent's guide before giving it to your child. So it explains how to improve the learning experience of your child. It also comes with a super cute ad for a magazine in the early 80s on how computers will make your life easier and fun games and this sort of things. So you would subscribe and get your magazine regularly on mail. Let's have a look on the calculator itself. So let's turn it on. It's quite a noisy device, this one. There's no option, at least I couldn't find, to turn the sound off, which can be a bit annoying. So the basic function, if you just turn it on, say go, it's going to give you simple addition problems. So 9 plus 2, 11, and it checks if that's correct. So for kids in primary school, that's an ideal toy, or it was in the 80s. So 9 plus 9, 18. And as you saw, if you get the wrong answer, it gives you a different sound. And it will give you 2 chances. So if you make a mistake a second time, it shows you the correct answer and moves to the next problem. It's also possible, if we come back there, to change which number we want to check. So let's suppose that I want to have the question on the second part of the addition. So 9 plus a number is equal to 10. This number needs to be 1. And the same if we want to have the first one. So which number plus 6 gives 8? 2. It's a great toy for kids. You don't need to press equal to learn basic operations. You can also use it for subtraction. So let's go for subtraction and move it to the final place. So 11 minus 2, 9. It's not going to give you any negative number. So it's always in a natural number range, which makes it suitable for young kids. There's no option to turn that on. If you go for multiplication, the same. It can handle multiplication up to 2 digits. So 2 plus 2, 4, and so on. So you have all these ranges. If you press 2, it gives you more difficult problems. So let's go for pluses and in level 2. So you see that now you have much bigger numbers to handle, and the same with multiplication. So if we go for multiplication level 2, it's still quite reasonable here. And again, quite reasonable, not particularly difficult. Let's go for the division, level 2 again. And suddenly you have, still not particularly difficult. I think for the pluses and minuses is the one that makes the largest difference. You have just bigger numbers. Let's see one more example. You see, this is something that it's quite different from the 7 minus 3 that we were seeing before. So this is what they call in the manual the numberific type of problems. There's also a flash type of problem, which is this one here, and multiplication, and go. So 0 times 1, 0. 1 times 1, 1. 2 times 1, 2. So you can get the times table that you are interested in to practice, and it goes one by one. Again, you can alter the numbers that go into different parts. The calculation also keeps track of the time that you do each one of these problems. So after 10, it's going to give you how many are right or wrong, and show you the time that it took you to to do that. There's also an option checker where you can enter your own calculation. So 5 plus 3 equal to 45. I've got a bad example here, but let's say 9 minus 6 equal to 1. And it's going to tell you that this is wrong. So it's a different way to do the same kind of problems where you can input the values. So there's also an option that you can store problems for your kid and they can do the problems that you set or they set themselves. So we use the checker option. And let's say 2 plus 3 equal, and we store it in memory. 5 minus 1 equals stored in memory, and 2 times 6 equals stored in memory. You can have all sorts of mixes. And then we go, and now we have the problems that we had just entered, different operations and different numbers, so you can practice yourself. And you see here the 3 out of 3, and it took us 6 units of time. It's not seconds because it's not actually measuring time precisely. That's at least what the manual says. This question here, which is quest, is a curious one where it's a guessing number. So we have a number between 9 and 11 and 100, and it's about attempting to find this number as quickly as possible. So the easiest way is to get something in the middle. It's going to tell us if it's between 54 or 9 or between 54 and 100. And in this case, between 54 and 100. So now we go for 77. It was the second attempt. And now 88, third attempt. And 94, fourth attempt. And we are not very lucky, but we are getting there. So the idea is that kids will approximate, try to understand how numbers are between each other and how you can optimize your strategy to find the right number, in this case in 6 guesses. And it's a nice way to demonstrate a simple algorithm of finding, in the easiest possible way, a number between other 2 numbers. There are also games where you can pass the calculator to colleagues, so each person attempts to do one, and this the calculator has a kind of timer that goes out when the internal random number picks up. So it's a kind of a hot potato game, but with calculators. And the longer it takes you to do the calculation, the higher the odds that you will hear the bad sound. So let's try it. So the first kid would enter a number. If he gets it wrong, it's going to warn you, so you're longer with the calculator, which increases the odds of being the unlucky person that had a bad sound when it was with you. And you keep, each kid sorts one of the problems, passes it along. Perfect to drop the calculator and break it. And you keep playing until you hear an odd sound. Keep playing until you hear an odd sound, which is not happening again. You're an unlucky kid that have the calculator on your hand when the sound pops up. So it's a way to gamify. So that's the zap option here. And that's it. That's the MathMarvel from Texas Instrument, an early gamification tool for math, for primary school kids learning the basic operations.